Hello, welcome to my bookshelf. And today I'm doing something a little bit different than normal. I'm participating in this 7-day video-athon. I've never done this before, so bear with me. It's called the 7 Days of Summer, and it was started by That Bookie. And I will link her original video in the description below. So I will just be using the prompts that she has come up with, and I will come out with one video every single day for the next week. And the prompts are pretty simple and straightforward, and most of them relate to summer. And the really cool thing about this is if you make a video yourself and you tag That Bookie on Twitter, you can actually win prizes that she's giving out, which is extra cool. So definitely check out her main video and find out more about it. I will also write out the prompts to each day in the description below, so you can check that out if you want to make your own video or if you just want to know what's coming up next. I just thought that this would be a really fun thing to do, especially at the beginning of summer. So let's just jump in. The first prompt is to share one book that is your favorite of all time. Now, if I'm being truly honest, that's probably going to be like Harry Potter, but because I think that's kind of a cheat answer in a way. I mean, I feel like it's almost everyone's favorite who's actually read it. So I'm going to refrain from using that as an answer, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to share with you a book that is a lot less well known than Harry Potter, and that would be House of the Scorpion by Nancy Farmer. Now, this is one of the only books other than Harry Potter that I've reread multiple times. It's not something that I normally do, so that in and of itself should tell you how much I enjoy this book. Now, admittedly, I first read it in elementary school, then in middle school, and then in high school. And I don't believe I read it again in college, but I could be wrong. If so, it was a couple years ago already, so it has been a while since I've reread it, but it is definitely a book that I plan to reread again. And I'm assuming that if it's held up that many times already, it's going to continue to hold up, at least in my eyes, as still being an enjoyable book. So a little bit about the premise. This is technically set in the future, but it's kind of a desolate future. And actually, the story takes place in what used to be Mexico. It follows our main character, Matt, who finds out he's a clone. And that's really the only science fiction element of this story itself, is just the fact that this is a world in which clones exist. But it really isn't about the science fiction. It's really more just about the characters and what it's like for him to grow up as a clone. It starts off with Matt being born, or harvested as the book calls it. And then we get to see him grow up to be 14 years old. And so we get to see him in a couple different parts of his life. And we get to see how he grows up and how things change as he gets older. It's definitely a character-driven book, but I love that kind of thing. And I don't know, I think this book raises a lot of really important questions, and I just think it's done really well. I found it to be really engaging and just unique. I don't think I've ever read a book quite like this before. It was just a really good book, and it was something that stuck with me enough to make me want to actually reread it. And like I said, that was a big moment for me because besides Harry Potter, there had never been a book that I really wanted to just reread and re-experience. So like I said, I really like this book, and I do plan to reread it sometime soon, so hopefully it will remain one of my most favorite books of all time. Okay, and the first video is going to be kind of short because we're just talking about one book. The kind of fun thing about this video-athon is that each day you add a book. So day 1 you talk about one book, day 2 you talk about 2 books, and so on and so forth. So by the end of this we'll be talking about 7 books, so that will probably be a bit longer of a video. But still a lot of fun. So I hope to see some of you guys join in too, or at least just check out her video and just kind of enjoy the experience. I think it's unique and just a really fun idea. So I'm excited to have noticed this on day 1 instead of noticing this like on the last day and realizing that I missed an opportunity to join in on it. Okay, so I think that's all I have for you for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.